What is up, everybody? This is Marshall Lee of DonkeyJawProjects.com, and you're at the Marsh Makes Comics YouTube channel. And today we're gonna be ripping some souls. We're gonna be talking
Oh,
about Marv. Marv, what do you? I mean, I always say Mario because isn't that's like your real name, right? But like, what do you like to be
yeah,
called?
man. I know that it's very hard to say some names, but
Mhm.
I came up with Marv
Mhm.
because Mario Vasconcelos, but I put AR and then the V, capital
Mhm.
V. But one day I was just I used to say I'm Marv or whatever because also because of Marv Wolfman is one of my favorite writers. And
Nice.
one day I was watching a stream with Randy Zimmerman from Arrow Comics,
Mhm.
and he said MarV, and someone said, "Why you said MarV? It's Marv." No, he said, "No, no, he's got a capital V."
Mhm.
So yeah, I said to myself, "Wow." I didn't thought about it. Yeah, Randy Zimmerman basically baptized me Marvy. So yeah.
So even when you tried to simplify it, people still messed it up, I guess, huh?
No, no, Marv or Marvy is okay. Peter Palmieri calls me Mario too, so it's my name. So, but I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Either way, it's me. Either way, one way or another, it's me
Well,
anyway.
as a YouTuber or a comic artist who does YouTube, I always like try to get to know the audience and a long time ago, you were in a lot of streams, a lot of people's streams. You were in my stream a lot, and I got to know that your name was Mario, so that's why I always called you Mario. But
Mm.
I got this comic right here, and you
Yeah,
know,
you got.
when you look at the credits, it says it's by Marv. So I might just call you Marv here because that's how people I
Yeah,
think know you.
yeah, that's true.
so,
Yeah.
so anyways, man, speaking of letting people know who you are, let's let people know who you are, where they can find you, and a little bit about yourself.
Well, you can find me on Facebook, MarV, the Sin Killer. Marv Artwork on Instagram and Twitter. I believe I mean I don't know, but if you hashtag the Sin Killer or Gabriel Reaper of Souls, you can find me anywhere. I'm a professional freelancer. Freelance illustrator from Portugal. I've been doing that for over 10 years. That's my side job because I work in a factory. I send all day. Sending all day is not easy, but I learned from you that, hey, my wife Linda, hey, um, I used to watch your videos when you were on lunch breaks. During lunch breaks, you were always finding time to do whatever, sketching or even just do a small video. And you and Jeff Laverty are one of my are the two are very inspiring. Jeff, by the I saw him making the 100 Days of Making Comics and making the Berserk Knot. I saw that comic come alive, and you with your I identify a lot with you in my life because you are you work your work is not easy too. So I connected to you by that, by having a hard work and finding time to do and to learn as much as we can about comics. And man, thank you for that, man. You are one of my inspirations to
Hey, man.
keep going, to move forward, because having a day job is not easy, and seeing and watching other people doing that inspires. Can't believe that.
Yeah, man, that's why, I did those kind of videos because it's like, that's the reality of it and everything. But it's all cyclical. I mean, maybe inspired you, then I sit here with this comic, and then I get inspired by you, and it goes back and forth, man. That's how this stuff
Yeah,
works. So,
yeah.
so speaking about the Sin Killer, this is the first one, as people probably have seen Sin Killer #1 revelation. It's almost like I would say in my mind, it's almost like an origin story. And then
Uh,
you have started
I,
the second one too now. So go ahead, man.
Yeah, that's a thriller. I
Mhm,
call that book a thriller because
mhm,
it was supposed to be a graphic novel. I had so many problems making that book because my day job and my hands not working as I wanted them to work, because hunting all day just kills everything that you do when it comes to art. And I was doing it traditionally, and I was struggling a lot between those things, doing traditionally, not knowing about anything about comics. I've been an illustrator. I do great pinups, and I can draw everything that you can imagine. Um, and I thought to myself that, man, if I can do whatever I want with pencil and inks and paper, I can do a comic. And I was very cocky at the time, and he was very frustrated to make it, very very frustrated, because making illustrations and make a comic are two different worlds. And
yeah.
man, that was very hard. And at the time, I never had a chance to buy a tablet. So the guys did. They came together. The guys in the factory came together and bought me one. I had to pay just a little bit of that tablet, but they come together. They came together and gave me one.
Yeah.
Um, and I was able to make. You can see a little bit of being naive when it comes to make comics, because you can see where is the traditional and where is only the digital. But it was fun. It
Yeah.
was a very hard to make, because I have to learn everything from scratch, for everything, how to make a comic, how to draw digitally, how to make a lot of things. But Mike Jimmy, my editor from the Netherlands, because I have an editor that is from the Netherlands that is publishing the Sin Killer there, the first one. Took every did just combine the book. He did everything, the files and whatnot, and sent me back the files so that I could print in the United States by Mixam. That's what you have. In the United States, I printed with Mixam, and Critical Blast did the distribution, and he printed in the Netherlands, and everybody from Peru and Australia and the UK got from this side of the pond.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And so with this new book, you're doing this all yourself now with the formatting, or are you still going that same route with the publisher and stuff?
I did everything myself. When it comes to the comic, the story, the art, everything. But Mike Jimmy he helped me with the campaign
Hmm.
and with the proofreading, because English is not my first language, as you can see. If you don't know me, I'm from Portugal. I was born in France, and I know I'll speak English, but I struggle a little bit sometimes. But yeah, I did everything, and Mike Jimmy just put together the campaign, and he's taking care of the files. He did the proofreading, and everything that you saw in the link that I sent to you is how the book will be.
Hmm.
So hopefully, between next week and the other, I'll be able to send the files to make some UK, so that they can print them, because I want to get the books and be able to sign them and give some goodies to the readers. Because first time I almost I didn't have the time, the opportunity, sorry, to make something, because I gave every backer had a panel or a sketch. Every backer had a little thank you when it comes to helping me to fulfill the campaign. It was a successful last time. It's a successful. Successful now. Sorry, and yeah, this time I want to give more to the backers. So hopefully I can do that.
Yeah.
Everything that I wasn't able to do last time, I hope to do this time, like
Mhm.
signing and give other stuff.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I'll say, man, like, you know, again, the cyclical inspiration thing, like, I mean, I haven't even gotten to this point. Like, I mean, I've made comics, but I haven't made like the actual like comic that I grew up on, the typical format and stuff, the full issue, which is it's pretty inspiring because, you know, right out the gate, your first time out, trying to make comics and you got it done. And I think this is a pretty strong example of what you can do just even starting out. And and the quality of the book is like it's got like nice cover and the pages, everything looks good, and it
Thank you.
just came out good. And then now you're already, it wasn't that long ago that you published that, and you're moving on to the second one. And you're on a roll, man. And I see a lot of people, you're getting like a lot of attention and stuff with this stuff, and growing a community. What's that like? Because that's kind of what I was thinking we could talk about a little bit here. Because you know, like, what is that like? How has that been like? Kind of building an audience around, because I see a lot of people trying to do this. We have a lot of friends, in the audience, and all that, trying to just gain some momentum around their project. And it's not easy, especially when you're first starting. Things aren't polished, like there's certain things that are rough around the edges. But right from the get-go, seems like you've been able to make it happen. Like, how did you kind of figure that out, I guess, or get to this point where you are getting funded on these crowdfunders, and making it happen?
It's weird to say this, but I had a bunch of luck. I
Mhm,
just, I was just going to streams, because I'm a very, how do I say, not, I'm a very close person. I talk to everybody, but when it comes to my personal life, I shut everything around me.
mhm,
And what I changed when I changed my way to see some stuff in my life, and one of the things that changed me was going to streams. And I live in a small village. Um, Almost nobody. I don't talk to almost anybody because there's nobody likes comics where I live.
mhm,
Maybe a guy or two, but I grew up with a good friend of mine called Ivo that is a little bit older than me. That he introduced me when I was 8 to Marvel and DC, saying he was saying to me that Disney was for kids, and from that time forward, I didn't know. Well, I my father had a bunch of Marvel and DC comics, but I was too little to understand what that was at the time. So when I came from Portugal, when I came, sorry, from France to Portugal, then Ivo introduced me to Marvel, and I knew what Marvel and DC were, and who was in one side and who was in the other side in terms of heroes. But back to your question, it was luck, man. I just started to commenting and ask questions that I wanted to be answered about indie comics, because I didn't know nothing about indie comics. I just knew about indie comics when I started watching Jeff's channel, and then yours channel, and others, and I thought it was very cool to be able to publish independently. I always thought that you need a publisher company to do it. And from that moment on, I knew that it was possible to do it. And by watching your videos and Jeff's, I got inspired. And yeah, one day Jeff just said, "If you have an idea," he said to everybody who was watching, not to me, of course. if you're thinking about making a comic, just do it. Don't think about it. Do it. And yeah, and I said, yeah, why not? I got to do it if it's possible to do it. And I was very lucky because I start, commenting Jeff's videos, your videos, Randy's, other people. And man, one thing led to another, and one day Randy Zimmerman from Arrow Comics asked me if I was able to make an 8-page story because I was always, talking about stuff with him on live streams, commenting. Then I started to show on streams, and people start liking my stuff, my art, my characters, and I started to be very excited about it and thinking, well, this is possible. This dream that I had when I was a kid of working for Marvel and DC, like everybody else has. Man, that invitation came. I didn't have anything than paper and inks. And a buddy of mine called Ricardo Ferreira, who did those two logos in the book. We were talking, and he said to me, he's a graphic designer, by the way. He said to me, "Man, if you want me to help you, I can do the digital part. You just draw and do the inks and the pencils and whatever, and just tell me how you want the panels and the pages." And I'll help you out. He did. He was excited, super excited. He did the two logos. Man, I couldn't believe it. And yeah, he prepared the 8 pages for the Revolt anthology by Arrow Comics. And man, John Silvestri is there, Daphne Leitch, JD Calderon, a bunch of other people. And my first credit with those great artists just made me, more determined to continue. And from that moment on, man, it was just meeting people and go to streams every time that I can, because it's not only about talking about my stuff. I love to know about what other people do because it's inspiring. If you
Mhm.
go to the channel, I'm gonna be tomorrow with Jeff. Tomorrow for me, today for you. And I haven't seen Jeff and Gabe for a year. And man, it's exciting to go back and see people that I know from few years like you, and talk about comics. It doesn't have to be about my comic, but I also love to know what other people are doing because you learn a lot, and
Yeah.
there's always opportunity for everybody if you have just a little bit of luck like I did. I was in the right moment at the right time, talking to the right people, and man, that was amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
And I've kind of seen you do that like through the years, and it's really interesting to me. It's like I think the key thing is like, in order to build a community around what you're doing, like you have to just be involved with the community, which is exactly what you did. You're part of the community. So once you become part of the community, you're talking to people mentioning you on live streams, answering questions and things like that. I mean, you're just having conversations, you're enjoying being around your people, and
Yeah,
then, okay, hey, it's my turn. I'm gonna put something out. Maybe you guys will dig it, and it's just kind of a very humble, quiet way. You don't have to like let everybody know like all the information about yourself. You're just, enjoying the craft together. And because of
yeah,
that, you can build something. And I every time I see it happen, it's so inspirational, and I've just seen it happen many times. Like there's people in the chat here too who, like Peter Palmiotti here, he's coming in here.
is
He's
it?
been part of the community forever, and like
Yeah,
everybody knows who Peter Palmiotti is, and it's not because he has a a brother who's in comics and he was in comics. Like he's it's because he's part of the community, and he's
yeah, for
contributed
sure.
to the community. And there's a lot of other examples of people even in this chat who are doing just the same thing. So, just I feel like being part of the community and then just saying, hey, here's my thing, and you don't even have to be that pushy. People want to support each other when there's just kind of good vibes around and stuff,
Mhm.
So
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, and I've met so many great people, and it's a blessing because where I live, like I said, I just have this friend who introduced me to comics, but if I go to talk to anybody, they just know the usual, soccer, politics, and religion, and they talk about, the kind of of conversations those people have, and nobody talks about, comics, movies, and stuff that brings joy to life. Always with talking about stuff that doesn't matter, like I don't know, stuff that
yeah,
the,
just
and
common
yeah,
conversation. I
yeah,
feel the same way. Like I'm at work and stuff, and it's like, I have conversations with people. I'm polite. You get to into stuff here and there, but it's like, yeah, no matter where I go, like in my real life, it's so rare that I come across somebody who's into the things I'm into, like my friends here on YouTube and stuff. So it's like it's a great place to kind of foster and build that
and
kind of
actually.
following.
That Ivo and Ricardo Freire did the logos. He's a collector, and yeah, he knows a lot about indie comics. I didn't know he knew so much. He's got a huge collection, and of course, Marvel and DC. Man, it's just incredible to enter his living room. It's just comics everywhere. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's great.
yeah. And that's why we have things like comic conventions and stuff too. I wanted to get into this too. And I know I haven't really acknowledged the chat, but there's a lot of people in the chat. But thank you for watching,
Yes,
everybody. If you have any questions, for Marv, let us know and we'll answer them right here.
oh,
I
yeah,
think Drew DeRosa Art was asking about the Discord, and it looks like Rocket Ship Evan, another friend on the Discord and friend of the show, for sure. He's got a link for you, and there's links. I think I have a link in my link tree too down below, but if you shoot me a DM too, if you can't find it, I'll help you with that Discord link. Again, it's all about community, and that Discord is another community where a lot of people, like a lot of people who have been on my show, it's because I met them through that Discord community and things like that. So just be involved. That's, I feel like, the way to really kind of introduce people to your work and get the kind of what is it, the grassroots efforts, like just to get like the ball rolling. And once you do that, then you can start reaching into other audiences and stuff. Let's
Mhm.
I'm curious about let's let me see, I gotta share it, but I want to share a little bit about the campaign, and I did put the link. It's in the description for the current Indiegogo that Marv is doing right now, and it's also in the chat. But here, I'm gonna share the screen real quick. Let's see, it is right there. Do do do. And this is the book. This is the new book. It's number 2, but I feel like you've said it's like it's 1 through 4. It's a series 1 of
Yeah.
4. So I almost feel
Mhm.
like this is like the first issue, even though the other one actually does introduce the character. So it kind of is. It's,
Mhm.
or I almost feel like that's the 0 issue, and this is number
That
1.
kind
But it's number 2, man, and you're starting a new story with your character. Let's let people know a little bit about what's going on here.
Well, the first, you don't have to read the first one because the I'm going to put everything that the first one has on this series, not exactly, but the message around it. But John Paris is by the way, the name is dedicated to my father. Is an homage to my father.
Okay.
Yeah, John Paris is a priest, a Vietnam War veteran that when he was in Vietnam, he and his fellow soldiers fall into an ambush. They were killed there, and John was the only survivor. And when he was about to be executed, he unleashed his power. He brought back his comrades to life, but they felt so much pain inside for not going back home that they became these monsters. So those monsters killed every Viet Cong, and at the end, John promised them to bring them back home, but of course, not with that form. And from that day on, he just promised that he would never use his power to humans. That's why he has a raven called Gabriel and a Doberman called Michael. They both are dead, and he brought them to life. Brought them to life because he felt that they had something to give him, like friendship, and have a family because they are friends. And as gory and greedy as this book starts, you will see in this series that the meaning of loyalty, friendship, family, that they never had. John is an orphan. I'm just spoiling a little bit. John is an orphan. Michael was a fighting dog named Thor that was killed when he lost a battle, a fight. And Gabriel was a normal raven that was killed by some drunk farmers. And yeah, they live in a graveyard called Devil's Gate Cemetery, and they live in Devil's Gate City. It's like Gotham, very corrupted, but this city has something different than other cities. The sun only shines 3 days a year, so the rest is night and very cloudy days. So corruption, the spirit of the everything that is bad that city transpires to the spirit of the city. The city is so dark, it's so shitty, corruption everywhere, bad people everywhere, and the city is so rotten that the environment, the weather is also rotten. So yeah, I want I want to do something very, very, very dark because I love horror.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely that. It's definitely dark. It's interesting, with the second story, because you did send me the digital version,
This
and I read it. It was really interesting, and it does, like, it's like you said, it's very dark. It definitely reminds me of things like Sin City and Hellboy and things like that. And it feels almost like it's funny that it's so dark, but like you said, it has like these themes of like friendship, brotherhood, things like that. And it feels like almost like there is a bit of adventure superhero type of vibe in there, even though that's not exactly what the the story is, and
Yeah,
I don't know, really interesting stuff.
a little bit. Yeah,
So yeah, I love this page right here. It's such a
yeah,
cool cool layout, man. And yeah, the art, I mean, obviously, like you said, you already kind of came to this work as being an illustrator, and then you had to like translate that into, okay, comics, which is,
yeah. Very
it's a definitely a, challenge for sure, but it seems like you're up for the challenge because you're doing some
thank you.
pretty cool things here, man, with design and with perspective and black and whites and all that stuff, man. So you said this is did you go with this kind? I know you work digitally, but you also like with the first comic you did like kind of like a mix of digital and traditional. How much
Traditional.
is
Yeah.
this all traditional or digital?
The cover was made traditionally, and
Mhm.
fortunately is in the United States. I sent it a couple of weeks ago. I sold it uh, and to a collector, and I had to do it traditionally. But the grays were done in ink wash and inks, but the
Mhm.
rest is digital. The blacks are very the deepest blacks are digital, and I just did everything digitally because I'm way faster. And I just for the campaign I just did a couple of pages traditionally. After I just inked them traditionally because just a couple of pages because
Yeah.
I wanted to put them to sale for sale. And the rest was done. Everything else was done digitally because if the head is bigger than the rest of the body, you can just shrink it a little bit.
Mhm.
You can change a lot of things. You know how it works. It's a great tool. I was
Mhm.
a purist. It's cheating, whatever. That shitty uh, mentality. But one day I just tried somebody's tablet, and I said, this might be interesting. If you don't know what you're talking about, you better shut up. That was is the advice that I would give myself. You know, go shut up, man. You don't know shit about what you're doing, what you're saying, thinking. But yeah, this like that scene with the rat, with the guy open up with his ribs. I just did that like this. It was fast as hell.
Right.
Uh, yeah, I also put a video on YouTube in the campaign for people to see that. Um, how I do my stuff, and yeah, man, it's so much better to do it digitally. I know there are people that do everything traditionally because they want to sell their art, and they really love the craft. But for me, and you know that when you have a day job, you need time and you have to be productive. So
Mhm.
digital is a great tool for you to do it. If you have time to do something traditionally, great. But if you don't have, and if you have some kind of lesions like I have, and problems with hands and other stuff, you really need something to help you to be productive.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like that, you're using, digital to its strengths, and, for me, I don't know even which is quicker and which isn't, but, I like working in both, but the thing is, to me, that I don't know, for me, I think this is kind of an important thing, and I'm not saying that everybody has to go about it this way. Some people start out drawing digitally, and that's how they draw. But for people like you and I, we started out with traditional. We learned how to draw,
Yeah.
traditional. I know I learned some painting things. I don't know exactly all the stuff that you did, but I know you did like ink wash and stuff. And the thing
Mhm.
is really when it comes to doing digital, like once you get the tools, all you got to do is just kind of learn how to translate those skills over. And I feel like it really doesn't matter, whether you're doing it digitally or traditionally, because it's those skills really that's the important part, the design and the proportions. And there are things that help you, I mean, like you said, being able to resize a head and stuff. I mean, so I actually just finished a piece this week where I, for the first time, I think really kind of went back and forth with traditional and digital. And it was kind of fun. I'm trying to figure out what my process is going to be, but this was just one little illustration, kind of fan art type thing. But I started off first in digital, and it was great because I could get the proportions the way I wanted them. Which, whenever everybody sees it, they're gonna be like, "Really?" Because like the proportions are all kind of screwy, but it's meant to be that way. It's meant to be kind of fun, comicky, um, wonky proportions. But at the same time, I went in, I got the proportions the way I wanted it, and kind of did the thumbnail and everything. And then once I had like that rough sketch, that I actually figured out there's a way on the iPad that you can lock your screen and you can actually draw on top of it like a light table. So I did that.
Mhm.
and I drew the sketch on a piece of paper or whatever that way. And then I went in, and that's when I like kind of refined the sketch a little bit and then did the inking on the actual paper. And then I went back in, did to the digital, took a picture of that, went back into the digital, did a few little refinements and did like the coloring digitally. So it was like a fun little back and forth thing. But the drawing skills are the drawing skills. So whether
Mhm.
you do it physically or digital, it just really has to do with getting used to the medium. Really, digital is just another medium in my book,
Yeah.
So, you know.
And for me, it was very, very easy because Procreate is a program that basically is drawing traditionally on digital.
Hmm. Yeah.
So for me, it was very easy to adapt. Very easy to adapt.
So you use Procreate to make this for your.
Yeah, everything. Lettering, those effects were done by hand.
Oh wow.
The sound effects were done by hand because Procreate don't have fonts for comics.
Hmm.
Just I use two of them. The two that I use on the texts are the only two that I consider possible to make a comic.
Hmm.
Um, it was done the then the screams of Gabriel screams and the girl scream was done by hand because Procreate don't have those. That's a shame because it's a great program, but unfortunately the fonts for comics aren't there, and
Yeah.
it's really a shame.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually end up doing so far. I've ended up doing my lettering in Clip Studio. When I do lettering, I kind of want to just hand that off to somebody else and hire somebody who's a professional to do that. But so far, I've done my own, and it's been in Clip Studio. But yeah, man. It looks like you already kind of got to your goal, but obviously, we want to reach for more. But
Yeah,
man, it's doing pretty good, man. And you got 11 days left. Um,
yeah.
so how has this campaign been going for you, man?
Man, I did 75% in less than 20 minutes.
Oh
I
wow.
was, yeah, I just launched it. I have a show with Mike Chimmy, my editor, called Sketchy Saturday,
Hmm.
uh, as you know. and yeah, we launched there, and it was incredible just to see another backer, another backer, another backer, another backer. Because the first time was very hard. The first time was just a little 2% here, 3% in another week, and
Hmm.
then 20% in one show, and then it was very frustrated. But because it's very stressful to watch this happening. The first time I listened to Daphne Leach saying that don't go and be always looking at the campaign because you're gonna be nuts at the end of the day. And when she told me that, I just follow her advice twice a day. I wanted to see more, but no. This time I was very confident. After that first day, I was very confident, and the stress just. Of course, I still have a little bit of stress because I really love. I would love to reach my goals, but right now I'm peaceful. I'm in peace with myself and with the campaign because yeah, I'm going. The book is done, fully done, and I'm just going to print it soon, and I will show it to everybody. And yeah, I'm gonna have my book on the website too here in Portugal, um, and I can't wait. I can't wait to go to print because I think the worst is to wait for the book.
Mm, yeah.
There are three stages that I get very nervous. The lettering that I hate doing it,
Hmm.
then finishing the book, and then waiting for the book to get into my hands. That's the
Hmm.
three stages that I
Yeah, yeah. But once it's in your hands, it's a pretty cool thing, right?
Yeah. Oh man. Oh man.
Yeah. So, let's see. I'm gonna kind of take this down. So, yeah, again, I'm gonna put the link here in the chat, but it's already in the description. Definitely, I would say go check that out. I'm looking forward to getting the second one. I've already read it, but I'm looking forward to reading it again in the flesh. Um, like I said, the quality of this first one is great, and if it's going to be anything like this, then it's just going to be a joy to read. It looks great. Are you printing it at the same place?
First time that the one that you have was printed in Mixam, USA.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is going to be in the UK, and I'm gonna have it delivered here in my house in Portugal because in Portugal, uh, everything that is a book, comic, magazine, whatever, is considered a cultural item. As such, I can send you from here to the United States or around the world. The shipping won't cost more than $10. So if I want to buy a book from the United States, I have to pay $30 or $40, and because you don't have anything like that. But here I can, man, to the United States, to Australia, it's the same price. So to
Nice.
Peru, Brazil, whatever.
Nice.
And thanks to that cultural item that a comic is right. So the shipping is way cheaper. So I can do what I wasn't able to do for the first time. That it was sign the books or put some extras. I did. I gave away almost all my art to every backer, but every physical backer. But this time I can do something more professional. I can control what I'm doing
Mhm.
because I didn't know how people got their stuff. I know RJ did a great job, but I like to. I had this time the chance to do everything myself and to know a little bit more about shipping, about packaging, and if I want to put an extra goodie for this person or that person because they bought an original art, I can put something extra there. If everything was like before, I just put the things and send it to RJ, and if I wanted to put something extra, I would have to send everything again, and it's around 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get into the United States. And yeah, this time I want to have more control about this, and the shipping is very cheap. So
Yeah, yeah, that's
that's it.
awesome. And it
Hey,
looks
it's all
like,
right.
Peter backed and he got issue 1 and 2, so, that's a
Thank
really
you.
cool thing that you can catch up, right? You can get both issues still if you want there.
Thank you so much. Awesome.
So, yeah, you can get both issues, right? Through, this
Yeah.
Indiegogo?
Yeah, 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 for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have the two of them. Yeah, the two of them. Well, I have the first one, but this one is oversized, so it's not
Oh,
uh, like, yeah. I can show. This one is massive. So you know this book, right?
yes. Very familiar.
So yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, so you can see that it's way bigger. This is not.
Oh,
Yeah, this is standard, right? This is a standard comic.
yeah, it's close to a standard.
Okay, so yeah, this is the other
Mhm,
book is a A4. So yes, as you can see, is big.
mhm.
So yeah,
Oh,
you
so
instead of getting a normal sized US standard size comic, you'll get an A4
okay.
size.
Is the second issue also that same A4 size?
No, it's not that size because this was printed by Ferdinand in the Netherlands. That's
Mhm.
my publishing company that I'm working for now with Mike Chimmy, Lotus Brewing, and the this one that I'm printing right now is US normal standard size.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah, normal size. You know. I have to show this one because
Yes.
without this one, there's no Sin Killer.
I gotta get in the actually publishing a normal comic club because I don't know why I've been doing this so long and made so many little comics that I haven't done that yet, but it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, you
That's what I'm working
should.
on.
Yeah, you must do. You must do that.
But yeah, speaking of Berserker Knot, apparently you're gonna be on Jeff Lafferty's tonight as well. You said tomorrow, so you're gonna probably go to sleep and then wake up and do another one, or how's that gonna work?
Yeah, it's gonna be at 5:30 a.m. here, so it's gonna
Mhm.
be 10:30 to Jeff and Gib.
Mhm.
For me, it's gonna be 5 a.m. 5:30 a.m. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Last time it was around that time. So
Wow.
yeah, I can't wait for that. It's been a
Yeah.
while. It's been almost a year without being with Jeff and Gib. Always fun to watch their videos.
I really
Always a
enjoy
blast being with them.
yeah, I enjoy watching their videos. It's always on a replay, and I probably will never be on that show because it's like during the witching hour for me. Like I am snoozing and dreaming and all that stuff at that point when they go on. So
Yeah,
you know, I don't know. I tried to get I was able to get on the Artcasters recently, and that was the first time ever because the time, you know, I had to stay up late, but Jeff and Gib go on even later. So
yeah. And I
tough
think
for me.
what bothers me is that the time is so different between Portugal and the United States. And for you to be with you is a 5 hour difference, but with Jeff it's 7. So every time that before I go to work, because I start working at 7 a.m. at 6:30, I always go to YouTube and say hi to Jeff and Gabe. But this time I have to get up a little bit more, a little bit earlier just to be with them. But it's gonna be awesome, like always. Always
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, that being said, man, you know, I think we got some cool stuff in here, and maybe if I stop this a little short, you'll get a little more get a little more time to sleep and rest and stuff. But
Yeah.
man, everybody like go and check out Mario's work. Like he's done nothing but, you know, be supportive of everybody else, and he's making. I mean, most of all, he's making a cool comic. Like it's I read it. You know, I
Thank
actually
you.
read it today, and I think you guys are in for a treat. For an additional a new Sin Killer series. So definitely check that out. Links in the description, and he's going to be on Jeff Lafferty tonight, so you get some more MarV tonight on his show. So check that out. Mario, before we go, anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, Mike and I have a show every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time called Sketchy Saturday. We belong to this wonderful group with great artists and great writers. The Raging to Broadcast Network on YouTube. Check us out. If you love comics, you will find every day a show related to comics. You can see Daphne doing her stuff. Me and Mike just hanging out on Saturdays. Randy Zimmerman talking about comic book history, and Luke Cage, Luke Stone. Also, so we are a very crazy a group of people that just love comics. And Nita Lanning is our big sister, and she just came up with this great idea of making this channel in memory of a dear friend that passed away in January,
Mm,
Meredith Logren. And we are doing this for love of comics. And if you want to join me and Mike just to chat and draw live, anytime that you want, Marshall, you're always welcome, as you know. And everybody who is in the chat, if you want to be with us, just let me know, or Mike. And yeah, we'll draw, have fun, and talk about comics, because we don't talk about politics, religion, social problems. We just have fun with
mhm.
each other and doing some cool stuff that is comics. Best thing in the world.
Yeah, it's another really good show, guys. You guys had me on recently, and I really enjoyed being on there. It's just another great positive comic book show, which I really like because sometimes you get not so positive shows, and everybody's doing their thing. But if you like that kind of vibe, I definitely enjoyed sitting there and chatting and drawing and stuff. So I would recommend that as well. So cool. Cool, man. Good luck with this rest of this campaign. It's already going good, but everybody please, again, go check out the Sin Killer #2, and you won't be disappointed. And other than that, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody in the chat for participating,
Thank you.
and we will talk to you next time.